Hello, my name is Romy, and this evening, as I film, I am surrounded by plants instead of by my casty baby who is asleep. I never really got into podcasts. I found a few that I really liked the idea of or I really wanted to like, but I never settled into anything. Until last year, where I discovered somehow the Two Princes. And here we are. And I enjoyed it so much, and as I was listening, I just wanted to talk about it. So I decided to create a little space on the internet where I will talk about and review podcasts. Starting with the most magical and wonderful and one that will always hold a special place in my heart, The Two Princes. So for a very, very brief summary, The Two Princes currently has 3 seasons and it is an adventure, quest, love story, musical, we'll come back to musical, about many, many characters, but mainly Prince Rupert and Prince Amir, and it is utterly delightful. It was the first podcast I really, really got into. Granted, there was a decent gap between finishing series 1 and today when I finished season 3 and then told myself I would just be pleasantly surprised if there was a season 4 and then started looking into whether there was a season 4 because I got really excited and I really want there to be a season 4. I really want to just forever go on adventures with these characters. It's a series with love and adventure at its heart, set in a world where big questions, hard questions are asked. It deals with honesty, trust, fate, good, evil, and a villain troupe with a penchant for theatricals. As I listened, I felt like I was witnessing something truly special. A story of 2 boys falling in love despite being pitted against since basically the day they were born. It was a story that filled my heart, inspired me, made me want to keep on telling my own stories and go on adventures and quests and discover every single part of this magical, delightful, and sometimes truly scary world. As much as I would love more series of Rupert and Amir, I would also be thrilled to have the other characters' stories told and see what adventures they go on. I basically just want more of everybody and everything and to learn all of it. Amir and Rupert, the main characters, are 2 of the darn sweetest characters you could ever wish for. They have chemistry and they have banter and they have their own lives and they have such well-built characters and they have stories together and apart from each other. Their characters are built up, especially Rupert's, who is kind of the narrator of all 3 seasons, before they meet each other. So you get a sense of who these people are before romance even comes into it. Across the 3 seasons, these boys grow so much, staying true to the characters we meet and love from the first episode, whilst also growing in confidence and personality and some ruddy, brilliant singing sequences. I don't think I will ever get over those songs. Because this is a musical? Kind of. The songs only creep in the 2nd series and then they are but brief. But series 3, I mean, I don't want to pick a favourite series, but series 3 has so many songs. I love them all a lot. You can hear the smiles, the happiness, the strength in these songs. Songs that are fun and catchy and powerhouse tunes. Looking at you, Cecily, you incredible girl, you. It felt like quite a surprising turn at first, but an episode or 2 in and I was truly hooked. And each time the music began, I was singing along in my heart, even though I didn't know the lyrics. There are so many things I love about this series, these stories, so many things I want to just sing the praises of. Cecily's song, Joan's story. Side note, I would love just a whole series, books, podcast, TV show, film, comics, just of Joan and Cecily, please, thank you. The Sirens, a certain scene in the 3rd series, which I will dub the Papa scene, featuring a bath time song. The voice acting and whole cast. Wesley, whose real name, funnily enough, is Wenceslas, and his entire character, and a song there, his unicorn, etc, 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 and the petting zoo. A character I would truly love to see much, much more of. Dear, dear Wesley. Dear, dear boy. He's lovely. This series 2, Rupert and Amir's storyline, which even though it hurt my heart, was so well done and beautiful, and these endings always get me without fail. They always get me. The fact that these endings always get me, and honestly I don't know what to expect at the last episode. I don't know what's going to happen, and just sitting on the edge of my seat and listening, and it's brilliant. Chamberlain, who from day 1 was just smashing, and the queer representation, which was the first thing that pulled me into this story and meant so, so much to me from beginning to end. I started listening to The Two Princes because I wanted a magical queer fairy tale, and I got so, so much more. This is a story with characters I can relate to, whose stories need to be told and are told so well. And something that I was worried about, and possibly will always be worried about, was discrimination. And yes, there is discrimination against these 2 lovely, lovely boys for wanting to be in love and be together. There were a few raised eyebrows, a couple of comments, and unrest, most notably at the beginning of series 2. But for the most part, it was blissfully absent. We get a world where people are essentially told to mind their own business, and our boys are supported. And again, I would very much like to go on many adventures in this world. And that's probably the only thing I didn't love. It was well done, but that doesn't make it any less hard every time. The Two Princes is a fantastically good podcast. It has truly everything. Brilliant, real characters, musical sequences, astonishing and wholeheartedly captivating plots, and the music, both intro/outro and, you know, the musical stuff. I really, really love the musical stuff. The Two Princes, a musical, oh my gosh. Please. And a cast that is absolutely perfect. And I would also like to say that when this afternoon I finished listening to series 3, I had chills. It was spectacular. The whole conclusion was everything I could have hoped for and more. This is a series I know I will return to again and again, and it's one that I would recommend without hesitation. It almost felt like I was returning to something I knew, and yet every turn it took surprised me, and it was just a delight. So that was The Two Princes, and honestly I won't have covered even a third of all of the brilliance it contains. It is so, so wonderful and enjoyable, and just talking about it makes me so happy and so excited just to hit play again and start it from the beginning. It's incredible. The Two Princes is written by Kevin Christopher Snipes, and I hope you will look it up and take a listen. And that is all from me until I write up my review of my next podcast. which was also very heavy on the